All right, we're back. Judd'z Budz episode 192. I'm too rattled. The last 25, 30 minutes have been absolute chaos here, so I'm not going to do the Gretzky plus whatever. Gretzky fucking plus 93. Sure, there you go.
I got
Nailed it.
193, not for the Wild, but 193 that, like, I don't know, for me, he's just always going to be 93. Nikolai Zherdev.
No, yeah.
He rocked for like 2 seasons.
Yeah, literally like 8 minutes. And then what was that? Columbus?
Yeah.
He was a fucking sick player, dude. And then he was like, I'm done now.
Dude, he was incredible. He's like, I don't care anymore, and I'm gonna go to Russia. Bye.
He's like, this is what happens when I get drafted high by the Columbus Blue Jackets early on in this franchise, and it's a
Or
shit
currently
show.
in this franchise. I mean, and that not a shot at the Blue Jackets. That just like feels like it's still kind of true.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, Fantilli can break that mold.
Yeah, I mean, they've got some real nice pieces. Some of my favorite players. So, specifically, draft son from what was it 20?
I was gonna say I can think of one, not many. One.
Yeah, whatever. Either way, Matejchuk, and he's been a stud this year too. By the way,
They just picked up one of our shared favorite irrelevant players.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Why is that the reaction?
Just wasn't. I wasn't even thinking about it for a second. Then it hit me. I was like, "Oh, idiot!" Obviously.
Oh boy.
I mean, I thought it was a very stupid acquisition at the time, but Mason Marchment's just only scoring goals there since he got acquired.
Also, suck it, Mason Marchment, when you're like, yeah, I'm only going to go somewhere with no tax. They're like, great, Seattle. And they're like, yeah, we don't like you here.
Yeah. He's
also like, yeah, I don't like it here either. So sure, I'll pay more to go to Columbus.
We could literally do like a 3-hour show on just how big of a shit show the fucking Seattle Kraken organization is right now. They are in fucking shambles. But we're not going to do that because we have specifically one massive thing that we're going to cover here. That's going to be the topic of today. And then there's going to be multiple topics within this, but the World Juniors, Sweden wins gold for the first time since 2012 over Czechia, who had not won since 2001. That gold medal game for a while, I mean, pretty much the whole game outside of like probably the first 7 minutes and then the last 2.5 was just an absolute clinic from Team Sweden. I mean, I couldn't believe that they were able to sustain that level of play, that style, for as many minutes as they did, like 24 hours after the semifinal game, like, which was also insane. But I thought before these quarters and semis, like in group play, Sweden, we saw flashes of how good they could be, especially that USA game. But once it got to elimination games, they were just a whole new level of like, we're sick of people talking shit about how we don't win like gold ever. Like somehow we're so dominant in group play. And then the second we get to elimination games, it's a shit show. I tweeted out the graphic, which had really weird, angry responses. I just like tweeted out the stats of like how good they are, like their overall record in group play or whatever it's called, the preliminary stage. Yeah. And then whatever, the quarters, semis, gold. I got a lot of like angry ones, like not from Swedes.
Oh,
like it's the only bad part
that's weird
about the World Junior Tournament every single fucking time, every year, is the really weird 40 to 60-year-olds who all they have to say is negative shit. I'm like, what? Like,
oh, you mean like the daily posts from World Hockey Report talking about the state of hockey?
Yeah, I'm like, I couldn't care less about that guy. So like, I know, I just every once in a while his shit pops up, and I'm like, another shitty tweet. That's weird. And like this one was specifically, it's weird, but with his beef with the fucking Minnesota crowd, I don't know if it's just because that's
First off, I want to be clear. Janner doesn't do any of the posts. He has minions that do all of that for him. Like Isha was even messaging him. He's like, dude, you guys got to calm down. He's like, I got nothing to do with that. I don't fucking care. Like, but
Sure.
apparently they really enjoy poking at Minnesotans because Minnesotans get riled up. So if you engagement and want to be a weirdo, you guys go for it. But I don't even mind taking the jabs at State of Hockey, whatever, like empty bleachers. Cool. Doing it every single day is just like weird behavior.
Like, do you have like your World Hockey Report, right? Is world.
I mean,
but you're gonna tweet out Minnesota 10 times per day.
Do you think that they're just all like up in arms about Minnesota being the state of hockey because they want to be the state of hockey? Had to, couldn't leave it. So you've been through a handful of these in your time with general scouting that you like to do, plus just a big emphasis on Sweden. So I'm sure this is a really fun one for you, but you get to the end of this. Are you relieved or are you bummed that it's over?
It's a combination of both, but this year specifically, more than any other year, I'm bummed that it's ending just because this is by far and away the most competitive this tournament's been. I can't even remember the last time it was even like close to this competitive. Only like a few predictable blowouts. But the level of hockey and also just the fact that Sweden brought such a stacked team, Czechia, one of their best team in over 20 years. And just like, I mean, even the amount of like draft eligibles that are there this year that are playing prominent roles on their team. And then just some of my favorite young players that have been drafted in the last 2 or 3 years, all here and performing and really showing out. This is by far my favorite one. So I am bummed that it's ending. It feels like this was the right way to end it, though. So it's like you get to the end and you're exhausted. And I don't even know how the people that are like at these games do it. Like mostly it was the one weird thing about the layout for Minnesota hosting. It was just like certain teams had one place that they were playing at. And like, I know some guys that were there were like, it's kind of obviously it's not far away from everything. Like they're all fairly close,
dude,
but it's still
there's been others that have been really far.
Right. Yeah, like not doable. Like they were like, we're trying to get to multiple arenas. And it's just like obviously, and then with the snow too, it was like, okay, maybe I'm just not gonna move. Maybe I'm gonna go back to my hotel. Dude, I'll just stay here.
Back to back flight cancellations for Merrick and our boy, former draft pick of the Minnesota Wild, Zach Phillips.
Yeah. I was like, I'm like, also this year, I guess I'll be less annoyed by it, but there are a few people that cover the World Juniors every year that like without fail, the bitching about the airport the last day when like the day that they leave, it's like tomorrow. Yeah. I'm like, come on, like no one really cares about how like annoying your travel is, and like why are you sending like an 8-tweet thread? Like what do you like? You have like the sickest job ever. This was an incredible tournament. Yeah, normal people have pain in the ass airport experience. Like I weirdly get annoyed by those every single year. This year I'll give it a little bit more of a pass, I guess, but not really. It would
take a pretty crazy experience for me to go online and bitch about my airport experience.
Yeah, like one of them was like a 3-hour delay, and I was like, brother, that's like that's anyone that flies somewhat regularly is going to have at least 2 or 3 of those.
Like, yeah, a 3-hour delay that made you miss your connecting flight, that then had you stuck overnight for 2 nights because you couldn't find another flight. Like that I'll listen to, but just I got delayed 3 hours. Like shut the fuck up.
Like I don't care. Like, I mean, I guess it's ridiculous that I'm even reacting to this, but like I am going to anyways. Like you put this out into the world, so. Whatever, like you have this falling. I'm gonna react. It's very annoying. Just fucking stay home and cover it, I guess, if you don't want a 3-hour delay. But anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. But I mean, yeah, what a tournament from start to finish. So many good players, so many draft eligibles, and just like the level of hockey was incredible. So I was a big fan of this one for sure.
Can I interject though? Because you said it was the perfect finish, and for me, I can go real specific on it, but I'm going to go more broad that I need a championship game with some hate. Like, no one gives a shit if Sweden or Czechia wins. And I don't mean it that way. Like, I actually would have loved to see Czechia win, but it's like no one hates either of these countries unless you're Finland. And there wasn't like a crazy amount of hate in the game. Like, I want to see a Sweden USA. That if we're gonna go niche with it, like Sweden probably wishes this was Sweden USA so that they could get the reenactment of 2 years ago where they just go all over the US kids at home when they win and just fucking bury them in the celebration.
Yeah, I think part of that too, for this game specifically, I mean, like obviously there were a bunch of physical players. There's some fucking huge hits, but like it's
Right,
I know what you're saying. Like it's not like the rivalry with like USA and Sweden now, which fucking rules. And I mean, imagine if fucking Sweden put a beating on the USA in the United States, in the state of hockey after last year and the year before. Like just the fucking taunting. Like again,
it would
we
be
talked
deserved.
about this. We talked about this New Year's Day. I knew that Sweden was gonna fucking like show out against the US in that prelim game, the final one of that stage. And I was like, I really hope they give it right back because that's good. That's good for this fucking hockey tournament.
Yep.
And boy, did they do that. And I loved it. And it was amazing. But like, as far as this game goes, again, like the level that Sweden played at for all 60 minutes was unbelievable. Like outside of a total of maybe 9 minutes, Czechia literally was just so gassed. They couldn't possibly string a pass together. They couldn't get the puck out of their own zone. The neutral zone, they were lucky to get it over the red line, especially that second period. Holy shit. But I think also when you go back and look at how insane both semifinal games were, I think Czechia had nothing left in the tank anyways. And obviously they also had the late game last night. But I feel like they both expended a ton of energy. And I mean, both of those games were full of fucking hate too. But Sweden just had a little bit more in the tank there, or a lot more, I guess. I think Czechia really was after that game against Canada. Like they gave it everything that they had. And again, first 6-7 minutes, I thought it was even. And Czechia was doing what they did against Canada, what they've been doing all tournament long, suffocating them on the forecheck. I think weirdly for Team Sweden as a whole, I wasn't really impressed with any of their defensemen outside of like little plays throughout every game. Like as a whole, I don't think any of them even sniffed like all tournament team level.
No, but and this goes beyond me, and this is what I wanted to ask you about because a lot of people that are more entrenched with evaluating prospects than myself, he didn't stand out to me, and that's probably like part of the charm with a player like this. But Leo Saulin-Wallenius is a guy that got a lot of praise from other talent evaluators, just like they thought that he stepped up and really filled a role that they needed, and like it. I guess in a projectable way for impacting an NHL roster. Like, what did you think about his play?
Yeah, no, I thought he was good all tournament. Again, I didn't think they had like a like as far as like it was. They were again, especially in the elimination games, they were so loaded up front. And I mean, those forwards, all four lines, and the fucking extra skater, like a guy like Kasper Justavara, literally. I mean, he probably elevated his draft stock by a round or two, even though he gets the 2 goals. Gets a shorty tonight, but like they gave him more and more like responsibility as the tournament went on. And he's playing mostly pro hockey in Sweden right now, anyways. But as far as Saulin-Wallenius go, I thought he was really good tonight. Like there was 1 or 2 sequences where like Czechia had a little bit of sustained offensive zone time. They were hammering the forecheck, and like Saulin-Wallenius is such a good skater, so good in transition, and like just the ability to log a ton of minutes and fly up the ice and just be his own release valve. There were a few times tonight, especially, that he took the puck from behind his own net and just carved his way into the neutral zone, into the offensive zone. And from there, fucking that cycle play from Sweden was relentless. So I thought he was, as far as this game goes, and realistically the whole tournament, he was probably their most consistent defenseman. Like Boumedian scores that bomb tonight, and I think he scored against Finland as well. One of the goals, I believe. Maybe he didn't. I can't remember. Either way, the goals that he scored were absolute bombs, and he has a absolute cannon of a shot. I thought he had, up until the semis and finals, I thought he had a rough tournament. Like he had a lot of turnovers. And that was the guy really for me. I was like, if they're going to have one standout performer, it's probably going to be someone like Boumediene, just the size, the mobility, and the offensive upside. But I think as far as like their most consistent defenseman, I do think it was Sally Wallenius. And then, I mean, Alphonse Frey was one of my favorites. Was that last year? I can't, like, at this point,
I think he was 2 years ago in the draft.
I think it was either last year or 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Now I know exactly. He was one of my favorites in that job. He was, for the most part, good this tournament. And there were definitely, especially that, I remember the first game, I was like, oh, fuck, Alphonse Frey brought his fucking dancing shoes. And he made a lot of eye-popping plays. But again, some turnovers, some not great play in his own end. But, I mean, in crunch time, again, in the semis and in this gold medal game, they were all laying out, blocking shots. I mean, Felix Orkfist, who didn't get drafted last year, really fun player, undersized, got a ton of offensive upside. Oh, yeah. He was a beast tonight. He was out there killing penalties, which is not his primary role. I think he blocked like 3 shots in 1 power play. Like, he was a fucking animal. So, again, like when the games mattered most, those guys on that back end for Sweden definitely showed up. And, I mean, from top to bottom, absolute clinic tonight from Sweden in that gold medal game. The score makes it look a lot closer than it was. But that was one of the most impressive performances I've seen in a gold medal game from one team. And the guy that didn't get any like all tournament recognition from Sweden that I thought was incredible and one of their best players, Jack Berglund, is a monster. 2nd round pick last year for Philly. Again, I remember when he got drafted, I think it was like 51st or 52nd or something. I thought I was like, that's probably a little high for my taste as far as like just pure upside, but he's so projectable and he's such a beast. And he made some ridiculous plays tonight. I mean, he factored in on both of those first 2 goals. But all tournament long, he was hitting everything that moves, a beast of the forecheck. And he's just a really projectable, smart player in your like middle 6, and he's got some offensive upside too. So I thought he really, really showed out and definitely put his name in there. I think I brought him up before the tournament started. It was like, watch out for Jack Berglund.
Yeah, you did.
So very impressive tournament from him.
Hand up. I was like, oh, thank you for pointing that out. I would have given him 0 consideration.
Yeah.
So
he was phenomenal.
How scary are the duo of Bjork and Stenberg going to be next year in this tournament?
I don't even know if Stenberg will come back. That kid could play in the NHL right now. He's one of the best players in the SHL. Think he'll
be in the NHL next year?
Yes.
Okay.
He could probably go and get games this year.
Well,
I mean, he's not going to, obviously. Can't. But like, I mean, he leads his team in scoring in the SHL, and they're close to the top of their division in the SHL. Like, he's a fucking monster. And so, I mean, he was an absolute driver tonight, too. That fucking, the 3rd goal was all Stenberg. Just like creating a turnover in his own end, getting up the ice, peeling guys off, hanging onto the puck, being patient, and then just manipulating the defense and giving Boumediene that fucking bomb of a one-timer, put it on a platter for him. But he was incredible tonight. By the way, that first penalty on him was so bad. It was like one of the worst calls. There were some bad ones this tournament, but that call on Stenberg in the first period, which I think that's why they scored shorthanded anyway, so it didn't matter. But that was horrendous. That was
I think Friedman said today on 32 Thoughts that like a good amount of the refs in this tournament were expected to be part of like the Olympic reffing group. Only one linesman from this tournament will be at the Olympics. So tells you what you need to know.
Yeah, there you
go. Well, off of that though, we gotta appease our boy Cole. After this tournament, who is Z's first overall?
I mean, I go back and forth, like, and it's weird because I thought he was really good this tournament, but people are shitting on him because of the expectation, even though, like, when you just look at the line he was playing on, he was never going to be the driver. But Gavin McKenna, I still think, is going to be first overall for me right now. There's just way too many special aspects to his game. I thought there was a little bit more, or there's more. He was more engaged, more involved, on and off puck. at the tournament that he has been at Penn State.
But was
The
he
semifinal game was not great, but like when you just look at he finishes with what 14 points in 7 games.
Yeah.
And some of the passes it's the bronze medal game, but some of the passes he pulled off earlier today were absurd.
Yeah.
I just look at you just like when I look at like game breakers, he is that guy that like I think there's obviously a lot more he needs to do to just be less on the perimeter, less of a periphery guy. But like when you look at the line he's playing on, he wasn't going to be driving that line. And he still finishes 2 points per game. So I still take him just with the special things that he has in his toolkit.
Sure.
Stenberg's right there though, just his ability to affect the game overall.
Yeah. I guess my argument, because I'm not sitting here like shitting on McKenna. I thought he had a fine tournament. I just think that anyone that had anything to say about McKenna battling for the first overall pick said he needs to come out and have a special tournament.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't, which I don't think that that's like fair to purely grade on, but like you talk about the special talent, the special qualities, those absolutely exist. And you saw them in flashes.
Mm-hmm.
Are they special enough that you're banking on him figuring out the rest of not being a perimeter player, of like actually playing a full 60 minutes? I guess not full 60, but you know what I mean? like
60 minutes a night in the NHL.
Only Quinn Hughes is allowed to do that. Only Quinn Hughes. I guess for me, and it's not the way to draft, but if I'm splitting hairs right now, I thought Stenberg had an awesome tournament, and Stenberg is an NHL player. I can see a world where Gavin McKenna isn't. Can't you?
No, I can't see him possibly not being an NHL player.
You can't see him not working out and flailing out after. Okay.
No, I think that he's just too fucking good.
Maybe not working out is wrong, but it's like just not being that level of player. I don't know.
Like I think he like realistically, let's say he doesn't hit, like let's say he doesn't come close to like the highs that we know that he can hit, like just on his pure talent and ability alone. Like I still think his floor in the NHL is like he's going to give you 20, 25 goals, 40, 45, 50 assists every year. And like
that's his floor.
Even if he could do that from the periph, like that's pretty impressive. Again, like and the thing is like before he went and played college hockey, before he went to Penn State, like we've seen him dominate. Like the U18s as a draft -1, he was fucking outrageous. Like I'm
not arguing that, and the talent is special. Like everyone knows that, but for me, it's not. There's a version of him being quote unquote disappointing in college hockey, and me still being like, "Hey, it's okay. It's a speed bump year." It's the way he's doing it.
Right. Yeah. Again, way too on the perimeter. No
timid.
Inside
he is
game.
Outside the play. He doesn't give two shits about going to the other end of the ice. Like those are the things that have to scare you a little bit if you're the one that's going up to the podium to pick him.
Yeah. And the way that I should have started this is like, I think I still lean McKenna just with that special ability and the upside and play like what I've seen him do and take over tournaments like this before. That being said, if I'm taking that pick first overall, part of me is like, God damn it, I think Stenberg might have a pretty good chance of like, even if he doesn't have the same highs as McKenna, like affecting the game in all 3 zones. I mean, he's out there killing penalties. He's out there, scores the empty netter today. So he's out there defending a 1-goal game in a gold medal as a 17, 18-year-old. Like that's ridiculous. And like just a dominant performance of this gold medal game. So I think part of me is just like, who knows? It could be me just like banking on the full track record of McKenna. Just again, we've seen what he can do.
I mean, that's what you have to do at this point. It's fair.
Right. It's like there's just too many special qualities. That's why I still probably right now, and again, honestly, in a month or two, given what fucking Stenberg's doing in the SHL, it's a weird thing where I'd lean McKenna, and at the same time I was like, I think I'd feel safer with Stenberg, but at the same time, like if I'm going first overall, and like this is actually
no one wants first overall.
This is so many scouts that I've talked to are like, our teams are like, we kind of hope maybe we get the second or third pick. like this is not which is weird.
Hang on. Like with that in mind, of course you want to pick your guy at the end of the day, but like if you're playing it like we don't want to pick the wrong guy and we just want to take what falls to us, how far down do you think that trend goes? Is it 3, 4, 5?
Honestly, I don't think it goes much past 2, maybe
Oh.
3, maybe 3. Because again, I
Okay.
think like especially if you watch this tournament and just watch the SHL tape from Stenberg, and I mean, even like as a draft -1, the SHL playoffs from Stenberg last year were insane. Like he's a pro hockey player right now. So like you probably just are praying that you get 2 and that they take McKenna, and you probably feel better taking Stenberg. It's just again like I'm leading on just there's just too many special qualities that McKenna has in his toolkit, and like he didn't dominate like we said we wanted to. Again, he was really fucking good. I thought he was really. I mean, the thing is like he was a connector more than anything. But again, some of the
I'm
passes that
okay
he's
with
pulling
that.
off.
No, some of the plays were great. Like I absolutely stopped and was like, oh, that's what people are talking about. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to see, not even see it more. I wanted to see it attempted more. I wanted to see more effort. And it's not as bad as what we've seen at Penn State, but I thought this is a tournament where he could step up. And again, he wasn't going to be the man on a line with Michael Hage, but I thought that he could at least step up and have a little bit more of that individual contribution.
And I mean, I think the biggest knock on him at this tournament will be that semifinal game. Like, I mean, he made a few really good plays, but like very much on the perimeter. I mean, realistically, when you watch that game back, I think like guys like Cole Reshney are going to come away like, and that poor kid takes the penalty at the other game too, which was like, that was nuts. Like the other times the goaltenders were all like in their own net with like 4 guys on top. I couldn't believe how often that happened.
I did love though that was some crazy shit that like, so the Secret one, right? Like he got pushed, but like did nothing to resist. People freaked the fuck out, got all mad. But then the Reshney one is fucking identical, and Canadians are ready to. Well, they weren't going to do anything too violent because they're Canadians, but like they were really mad.
Yeah, and dude, after
it was the same.
Yeah, no, after I think Czechia put it in the empty net. Literally, so McKenna gets tossed right there for abuse of official, and then at the same time, on a hot mic, you hear Reshney, "What the fuck am I supposed to do?" I was just like, "Oh, that poor bastard." I was like, "I don't know, man." Like, brutal. But he was a fucking beast that game.
Yeah.
I thought Cole Reshney was really good. And Zane Perek, holy shit, he fun. Getting a lot of hate, weirdly. Again, by that same crowd I mentioned earlier, the very annoying middle-aged fucking guys that are just like looking to carve 17, 18, 19-year-olds. It's insane. But whatever. I
gotta selfishly go this route because it's important to acknowledge that Eklund had a solid tournament. Aitchison had a solid tournament. Horkoff played like ass. And dude, Ben Kindle couldn't even make Team Canada. So I think Kyle Dubas is still a moron.
Yeah, there you go.
No. How about you tell me how stupid I should feel for being so depressed on draft day? Like, am I completely wrong? Is there even a world now where like Aitchison and Kindle end up being better than the 3 players that Kyle got?
You mean Aitchison and Eklund?
What did I say?
Kindle.
Oh. Yeah, Aitchison and Eklund over Kindle, Horkoff, and oh man, now I'm spacing on your boy's name.
You got it.
I don't. I can picture him, and I won't say why.
He's a fucking animal. He's very fun.
But like, I didn't expect it to be this quickly that I was proven so very wrong.
I don't think anyone anticipated Kindle making the NHL out of camp and then sticking around and being as good as he is right now. Holy shit. And like, you know what's weird about the Horkoff thing is like he is unbelievable right now at Michigan. I just don't think they at no point did Team USA, which we'll talk about this in a little bit. I don't think Team USA figured out their lines, their deep. Like I thought their lineup, they were really throwing shit at the wall, like pretty much every game. And they had like a select few guys that played really well in all those games. But like as a collective, it was just not there. But they did play with that like just dog mentality a lot. But like I just don't think they ever at any point figured out. That being said, I mean Horkov this is a rough World Juniors for him.
It was, but like it's the classic Bob Motzko too, where like the fourth line is the line, and that just happened. I know I'll make the joke that like, oh, that's what he does, but like, no, that the fourth line was an accident. Like that worked out so freaking well, and they didn't find that balance anywhere else in the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, like you look like
Max Plant doesn't help, but
yeah, and then also on the back end, you know, Cole Hudson comes back for that last game. I thought again, like for a guy that was out cold on the ice like 3 days before that, I thought he was largely pretty good. I think he finished a goal and an assist or 2 assists. I can't even remember.
I love how the TV analysts are the ones that got him hurt. They're like sitting there like, oh well, it's a guarantee that he's going to break this record from Eric Johnson. Clunk.
Literally.
Oh shit.
Well, yeah.
Oops. Oopsie poops.
But like on specifically Aitchison and Eklund, though, I thought Eklund was like good, but just mostly pedestrian until the semis.
Yeah,
he was
he was kind of non-existent up until the bracket.
Right. Yeah. I thought like some of the plays he made tonight, like I mean, especially when I think it was right after, was it the 3-2 goal tonight? But he had he laid out, probably cleared a puck, killed some time at the end of that game too. But I thought Eklund was real fucking good in the semis and in the gold medal game. Up until then, it was a pretty pedestrian performance all around, but like still like net positive, just not like, you know, someone that we looked at as like a top 10 pick in the NHL draft last year. Same time, some of the other forwards like Stenberg, Viggo Bjork, oh my God. Jack Berglund, fucking Anton Frondell. Like this team Sweden was just loaded where you could have someone like Eklund be a pedestrian and you still win every game. Like, I mean, it's crazy how good this fucking team Sweden was. And I mean, we could just do Canada as a whole, but like the Aitchison, I thought again, it was his first World Juniors. There were flashes of what makes it really good. Again, I don't like the offense just dried up. As someone like he scored 19 goals so far in the OHL, you're probably hoping for a little bit more. Obviously, that being said, like Zane Parek's going to be out there for 30 minutes a game. He's going to be on your power play the whole 2 minutes, if it even lasts 2 minutes. I think they finished like with a close to 60% power play. But again, I don't really know what people were really expecting, like how much they wanted Aitchison to dominate. I thought a couple of defensemen for Team Canada had rough tournaments. I mean, specifically, like Ben Danford, I thought should have been like a steadying presence back there. Oof, this was not a good tournament for him. And I mean, it really hurt the fact that they went 8 defensemen in that semifinal game, and they lose Brady Martin in the first period.
That's
which, wow, the fact that Matthias Mann, that was a fucking massive hit, and Mann just like bounced off of him, and like I mean, it sounds like it was like a separated shoulder or broken collarbone, something. I mean, Brady Martin's in a sling right now, but Brady Martin, I mean, one of the most ferocious physical hitters in all of junior hockey, and the fact that he came away like hurt bad from that hit, because that was like he was flying into that fucking hit. What I mean, the fact that Mod just like stood him up there was crazy. But that was what really, I mean, like the fact that Hunter goes 8D and then you lose a forward, then your lines are all fucking all over the place. That being said, Sam O'Reilly stepped up. He was really good for Canada all tournament. And yeah, another again, Cole Reshny gets elevated too. But Brady Martin,
O'Reilly was the sneaky, like really good player, and
definition of a Swiss Army knife.
But dude, Tampa Bay Masterclass too. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, you get fleeced. You have to give up on this player that just won the Hobie. It's like,
No,
No,
you haven't.
we got a guy
you
that's just as
clearly
good, and
haven't
no one else
watched.
knows.
Clearly haven't watched Sam O'Reilly play junior hockey. He is like the epitome of a Swiss Army. It was funny when we were looking at like
he's like
who's
a more
going to play on that fourth
translatable
line.
NHL player too.
Mm-hmm. But like, remember we were looking at like the line composition for Team Canada going to this tournament, and we were like, you could pick and choose on this like fourth line who's going to get more minutes, who might be the extra skater, who might get scratched. We were both like, I mean, Sam O'Reilly's going to play like 20 minutes on their fourth line. Like that's a no-brainer.
Just because the Hunters.
He's going to be a PK guy. He's be on the power play. Like he could do literally everything. He's such a fucking good player. But yeah, he was one of their most consistent and just solid performers all tournament. He was really, really good.
So let's be like all the Canadians. Where did they go wrong as far as building this roster? Like we can't say like Dickinson, for example, like he wasn't granted the ability to come. I got one swap that I think makes a real interesting difference. I want to see if you've got anything off the top first, because you probably will say the same. Maybe not the same thing as me, but one of the players will be the same. Oh, damn it. LA scored.
Yeah. I think it's tough because, like, when you look at their fucking roster, the guys they brought, like, was it?
This is purely hindsight. Purely hindsight. It would have sounded crazy a couple weeks ago, but hindsight, get Misa the hell out of here and get Jake O'Brien in your top six.
Yeah. It was going to be a tough situation for Misa. At the same time, like, I don't know if they possibly could have not brought him if he was going to be available.
I understand. Again, this is purely hindsight.
Yep.
Just clear on that. Like, you don't not bring him, but like, God, was he probably the biggest disappointment of the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, he was clearly rusty. That's for sure. That being said, I think he made one of the assists in that semifinal game, and it was a dime. Then he takes that bad penalty immediately after they get a lifeline power. That was crazy. Like, fucking checking gets a power play. Literally 20 seconds in, they take a too many men penalty. And then off the ensuing face-off, Misa covers the puck with his hand. I was like, this is unbelievable. How is this happening in a fucking like semifinal World Juniors game?
Can't make it up.
I mean, part of that too is just like it's different rules in IHF,
which is ridiculous.
Yeah, like, some of the rules are like
play by the same rules. It's the same sport.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, largely, I thought Misa was pretty good in the semis, but again, he was clearly rusty all tournament long and was trying to. I mean, just going from barely playing NHL. And I think he got hurt at one point too. It was going to be it was going to be challenging either way. Like, people were thinking like, well, he's going to get to go play amongst his peers, like players his age. He's going to get elevated minutes. It should be a pretty easy transition. It's very different hockey, and he's coming from playing like limited role in the NHL. So it's going to be tough for him. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't, I mean, he did not come away looking great at the start of it. But again, as far as like the long term, like, no one should take anything.
No,
like
I'm not worried about it long term. I'm saying in this tournament, though, like, I think Jake O'Brien could have made way more of a difference and more of an impact than what we saw from Misa in the tournament. But I promise this is not a shit on Michael Misa session, but I don't know if I'll ever forgive Gary Bettman for not putting Matthew Schaefer on the Sharks.
Dude, that fucking, was it Toronto? Oh my god. The other day, Schaefer went up. He's so fucking good.
He should have made the Canadian roster, even as a defenseman. I don't care.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy. God, is he good? It's just insane to me how young he is, how little hockey he played the last 2 years. Just steps right into the NHL, one of the best defense. I think he's like, amongst defensemen, he's like got top 10 time on ice. I'm like, this kid's fucking unbelievable.
It is better for him to not be going. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Let him just take some time and not do that.
Yeah, totally.
But it is just insane. Can you imagine if Drew Doughty sleeps through his alarm again for the gold medal.
You have to think
he did it. He did it at 20, and he's going to do it at 40.
You got to think he must be like, worked last time. I didn't like it until I got in the ice. It was an absolute disaster.
That is true.
I love that he went in with like everyone, like all the fans. He went at the same time. He was just like in Vancouver. And people were like, Drew, what are you doing here? Aren't you playing in 10 minutes? Yeah, maybe he's thinking about it.
He has to think about it. Do we want to go into other teams? Do we want to talk about specific players? Do we want to just should we check the box of Minnesota Wild boys?
I think we should do. Before we do that, we probably go like Team USA a little bit.
All right, let's rip the Band-Aid of disappointment off. Oh, 2-0. Fuck the Kings.
Obviously really disappointed they crashed out in the quarters. Again, like we said before, I just don't think that any point did they figure out the right line combos. A couple of guys they needed a lot more from, regardless of where they were in the lineup. Again, like Will Horkoff needed way more. And I mean, like, it's crazy that the most consistent guy for them was Will Zellers. I'm not even trying to be a homer. And you
are absolutely correct.
I mean, even that tying goal against Finland, he takes the puck through the neutral zone in the offensive zone, gets it chipped off and wins it back, and then gets it to Higgins, who finds Riker Lee out front, which, by the way, very up and down tournament from Riker Lee.
I was going to say the exact same thing. Extremely up and down tournament.
But the ups
are great.
He is.
I wish Mateo was here right now.
He is just when he's on, or the flashes, the plays that he makes, all the goals he scored were absolute fucking rips too. And I mean, just pumping up the crowd. But yeah, very up and down tournament from him. But yeah, I mean, the whole story of Team USA was just like not figuring out the line combos again. Like Spellacy, McMorrow, and Zellers were flying every game. I thought Higgins was pretty good. I mean, I thought as far as like when you look for consistent performance, he was relatively consistent, and he made some big plays and big moments for sure.
And it's along the lines of like going in the Gavin McKenna ilk, right? Like I expected and needed to see more from McKenna, but it's not like he had a bad tournament. I wanted to see more from Higgins. I wanted to see him drive the bus, but like he didn't have a bad tournament.
Right. Yeah. I still lean did a pretty good tournament, but again, like he had to be their number one center. He had to be the go-to guy. And again, like it probably just wasn't like I don't think there were any games where he went out and absolutely dominated.
Right.
I feel like we saw a lot of it, maybe their first game.
Sure, against Germany.
Which is like exactly. But like at this tournament, like any game that you can do it, you have to. And again, we saw Flash. He made some big plays, scored some big goals. I think he had points in every game. I think so. But yeah, I mean, they just at no point could they really lean on any of their big dogs to like step up and like again take over games for them. The back end was kind of a shit show. Again, I thought there were a lot of individual moments where guys like Barnett really good. And again, before Cole Hudson went down, he was a fucking animal. Like, no matter what is going on, he's going to be like, all right, that's enough. Give me the puck. I will play both defense and forward. He's very fun when he's on. Obviously, on really brutally unfortunate where he goes down and gets knocked out. Nope. Who's Kempy trying to fight right now? That Yurov's just been in the shit lately. He's been a little rat lately. I love it.
And since we just took a slight veer off on Minnesota Wild with this game, we have to give full respect to the super chat from our boy Cam Myers. Who else? He is super chat extraordinaire. We're going to talk about the national hate Faber has been getting for advanced stats. Also, Luke Hughes getting booed every time he touches the puck. Elliot talked about it. Jersey crashing out. Cheers.
Yeah, I mean, I think it started with like, especially after the USA lineup got announced, or the USA Olympic team got announced. It was like, I think I go back to that pair of Faber and Slavin. It's like, well, I went back and watched it, and like a lot of it was Slavin was really good and Brock Faber was there, which I was like, I mean, that's kind of not super fair. Again, I thought the beginning of the year,
equal parts
Faber,
fair and unfair.
Yeah, I think like the underlying numbers this year were one thing, whereas like again, especially at the beginning of the year, the whole roster was kind of a shit show. But he was really being leaned on to do literally everything. And I mean, when you need him to be your best offensive defenseman before fucking Quinn Hughes gets here, that's always going to be a problem. But since Quinn, it's weird that Quinn Hughes being here has also unlocked like Brock Faber offensively. Like that's what's crazy to me. Part of it is just they have the puck the whole time.
I mean, it's unlocked everybody offensively.
Right. But yeah, I mean, like you said, I think it's some of the criticisms and like why didn't the underlying numbers look like that?
Well,
it's like
he
fair
was
and
bad
unfair.
to start the season. He sucked at the beginning of the year.
Right.
Like there's no sugarcoating it. He was bad. He would tell you the same thing, but you know what Brock Faber's capable of doing. Like at his floor, he's going to be a serviceable third pairing guy who can kill penalties, do whatever. I don't know.
I think it was that just, I think like the initial, I think it must have been, I think the first.
There's a lot of New York fans that were mad about it.
Yeah, whatever.
Do you think that Fox should be left off the roster?
No, I thought he should have made the team.
I thought he was really good so far this year. If we were basing it off of last year, fuck no.
Right.
It is really funny though that everyone's like screaming nepotism for Miller and Trocheck making the team because Sullivan's the coach, and it's like, yeah, well, Adam Fox would beg to differ.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean Sullivan apparently was pushing hard for Fox too. That's the thing. But
he's not the one that makes every decision, so
right. I thought that was a notable omission for sure.
It was notable, but like I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. You know, like would I have had him on the team? Yes. Is he like? It'd be different if Werenski or Slavin was snubbed. Like, do you care if Fox is on your third pairing? Or an extra, I guess. If he got clipped, I guess he'd be an extra, but
right.
I don't know.
What was the other part of
the Luke Hughes getting booed, which
I feel
again,
real bad for him.
Cosgrove, I think, had it nailed when he said, it's in here somewhere. Here it is. Those weren't boos. They were saying Luke.
Yeah, it's definitely what they were saying.
It's the classic Toronto punching bag, except it's in New Jersey. The team has been bad since his brother Jack got hurt. There's definitely holes in Luke's game. He had a couple of rough games, and the fans are letting him hear it now. But he's also 20 years old.
Yeah.
Kind of insane.
It's
as you really lose Quinn Hughes to go after another member of the Hughes family is weird behavior.
Yeah, like I know what'll get Quinn to come here.
I know how we can get Jack to stay.
He used to boo the shit out of his brother. I mean, like that last game was on top of this year and a lot of last year, where like Luke Hughes, it's just been not performing. Like, and I mean, the eye test says that, and then you look at the underlyings are so bad. But like, I mean, that last game for the Devils and Luke Hughes, like that was pronounced the worst it could get. I mean, he put the puck in his own net twice, really bad turnovers, and it was just like. That being said, I feel real weird booing a top 10 pick for my franchise at 20 years old as a defenseman in a year where like the whole team has been a bit of a shit show.
Top 5 pick.
Yeah. I feel bad. I mean, like it was the fact that he even answered questions after the fact that he did media I was like, you know what? It's a testament to that kid for doing it. I just feel bad for the kid.
Yeah. Tough, but he's got a lot of reasons in the bank account to deal with it.
Yeah, which unfortunately also fuels the booze.
Oh,
but anyways,
thank you, Cam, though. Yes. Man, hard to, I don't know. I understand the national questioning of Brock Faber, but there was no chance in hell he was not going to be on this roster. And he's looked a lot better of late.
yeah, I mean, him and Quinn on the ice together, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's so
Will they
fun.
be together?
I don't know. I would assume so. Same time, people are going to, everyone's still going nuts about like the Faber, which actually is fueling a lot of the weird criticism too. It was like, oh, it was all slaving, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I mean, I don't know. They were a pretty good partnership. Like, when you look at the ice was tilted when they were on the ice.
He didn't hold them back.
All Slavin does is like kill plays. One of the best all-around D-men, but like specifically against the rush too. Like they're going to be killing a whole lot of plays before they even get going. But anyways, I wonder if they'll play Quinn Hughes with Faber though. People forget I actually thought that Quinn wasn't even playing. Quinn was hurt last year.
They got to do that, and then they've got to stick Boldy with like, let's see, Thompson. I don't know who I'd put at the wing, but it's got to be guys that were like trying to poach. Mm-hmm. Thompson or maybe Larkin. Ooh, that'd be a good one. Since we know Steve Eisman's not going to pony up for a good player, a la Quinn Hughes. Shit. Real quick before we bounce off of it, then, like, were there any things that bothered you with the Team USA roster for the Olympics? Just gotta ask.
I mean, like I thought both Robertson being off and Adam Fox, I was like, I really would have. I mean, I feel like they should. I mean, even like Cole Caulfield too. When you look at some of the other guys that they brought.
Yeah, but he plays for a Canadian team.
Yeah, so it's like, oh my, he's American. I had no idea.
That's the only reason Lane Hudson's not on the team.
He plays for the Canadians. This kid, it's not possible.
Canadians, that's completely different.
Nah, that's
no.
Whatever.
The Robertson one's weird because he's literally leading Americans in scoring, but it's like, I get it.
He's so fucking good.
He is, but like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, he is incredible, but then if you like sit there and ISO cam his individual skills, it's like, wait, is he? But then he is.
Yeah. Again, he's like a guy that can be quiet and you're like, well, 4 points tonight. Okay.
So much for getting him this offseason.
Yeah, it was in the cards. But yeah, I thought Robertson was a big omission.
Dude, he's going to torment the Wild in the first round.
Yeah, probably. The Stars are down bad right now, by the way. I mean, fucking the Wild are down 2-0 after 2 right now. So, but I think if they won tonight, they would have jumped the Stars in the standings. But yeah, no, those two.
I did not know about this. What? Typical Stars fans calling Guerin racist for not taking Robertson.
Whatever. I can't even fucking. But every time I see that, I'm like,
go after Guerin too, who won a Stanley Cup with them.
Yeah. Whatever. But yeah, no, I thought Roberts was a big omission. Caulfield's a big omission. And Fox, I really think should have been on this team. But at the end of the day, still, it's a fucking loaded hockey team. Holy shit. Like, they're going to be very, very, very good. And when you look at, like, I mean, I think the
opposite goaltending of what the World Junior team did.
Yeah.
Although, do you want Hellebuck in net right now?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the only player the Jets were like, I need that guy.
I can't even play. Oh, okay. So fuck Kyle Connor.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy too, because like when you look at I mean, if people want to judge Adam Fox off the Four Nations tournament last year, like Kyle Connor didn't even like really play at all
Hey,
in
dude,
that.
did you see him
game?
in that gold medal game? Fucking loser. Didn't do anything that game.
Didn't do anything.
That's where we got to pull up the. Oh, here it is. I think I actually uploaded it. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Sitting around the house tonight with my dog. Felt like I should be doing something important, but couldn't put my finger on it. I might just have this exact tweet tattooed somewhere on my body.
Mm-hmm. It's just so good. 66,000 retweets for a hockey guy. Pretty good. But yeah, no, I think like going into the Olympics, I think even with the rosters being finalized now, I think like Canada's just like a slight favorite. So like USA is like as many qualms as we could have with some of the omissions, like this is still a loaded fucking team that should be absolutely like talked about for a gold medal.
You know what's really pissing me off though? That people's dark horse, quote unquote, is Sweden.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love the
like, wow, real risky on your part.
If we want to go and talk about like some head scratching decisions.
Oh, you want to hear from Tony Pants?
Yeah. I mean, Marcus Johansson should have made the fucking team.
I agree. But it just goes to zero shock that he brought it up right away on the podcast.
I think the Russo also was like, listen, we've talked about this for years. I've always said Marcus Johansson is one of the best players on the team.
That was a great jab.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, yeah, no, Marcus Johansson should have made this fucking team for the Olympics. It'd be David Kemp, even like Alex Wenberg. I mean, even with just the Sharks in general, you leave off fucking William Eklund. Insane.
Wenberg was a weird one, especially when his teammate is better than him. And then he gets that weird contract too. I'm very confused by that. Yeah, I don't know, but like that's like extra players / fourth line debate. Like, it's a good fucking roster.
Yeah.
Their goaltending sick, by the way.
Yeah. Who are they bringing?
I'm so happy, dude. I'm so happy.
It's crazy seeing two goaltenders from the same NHL team both on the same Olympic roster. Fuck yeah.
And there's
deservedly
probably a debate over who's the starter.
Right. Yeah.
Like
I was curious to see if once it was announced that Wallstedt made Team Sweden, I was like, I wonder if people are gonna freak out on Twitter about something. And everyone was like, no, this kid's a fucking stud. Like, this is
everyone outside of Colorado.
Yeah. No, legally they couldn't compliment him. God,
they just talked about how much of a loser he is for celebrating.
They really are. They are the worst. It's just whatever. We have to do that. But anyways,
Colorado and Dallas fans are really tough to deal with.
Yeah. But finishing.
So we were talking about Team USA World Juniors, which if we're going to talk about biased opinions, because like we serve those up regularly, I couldn't watch a single USA game and not notice LJ Mooney. It's impossible to not notice him, and he's the hardest to notice by stature. Like he just, I wish that I could like give up like 5 inches of my own height and just make him taller.
I
would do that for him.
Yeah. I thought so I was listening to Chris Peters and Cam talk about it before the quarterfinals, and like they were just talking about USA as a whole. It's like you've got Zellers and McMorrow and Spellacy that have been consistently really good pretty much every game.
Spellacy is a lunatic, and I love him.
It's crazy. He's a fucking animal, dude.
Where is he going?
Was it? Ooh, wait. I think I always mix up him and McMorrow. Because I think he is. Blackhawks, of course. Yeah, he's Blackhawks. I think McMurrow's Kings pick. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, I mean, fucking Spellacy is third rounder 2024. This is 6'3", 200 pounds, absolute scud missile. Looking on the ice at times, especially at tournaments like these, where like he also gets like right up to the line and then crosses it sometimes, but like pretty good at towing it and be like, a different ref may have called us something there. But like he is a goddamn beast, and like how well he moves at that size, and then like when you get going that cycle game, when he's, and a lot of times he starts on the forecheck, it's like, I mean, you can't take the puck from him. He does flash like the skill. Like he's just such a projectable middle bottom six guy. Could play center, could play the wing, doesn't really matter. Like he is just, his whole game is just so translatable. But
Ogren has 4 points since joining the Canucks. Bring him, you cowards. He officially, you've ruined me, by the way. I'm obsessed with the Twitter tracker, or with the Instagram tracker. He officially yesterday unfollowed the Minnesota Wild. Broke my heart.
Part of me was like, I don't know if I should tell him about this Twitter page.
Dude, it's bad. It's bad. Yeah. I'm all over it.
Especially when the algorithm just knows any links you have to the Pittsburgh Penguins or the Minnesota Wild or TV.
I subscribe to their tweets. I get notifications on that shit.
I need to know.
If you didn't see, I quote tweeted literally like a minute after it posted, because I literally just like, if I notice a player that it's like, oh, I gotta check this. Yeah. It was Quinn Hughes, and it was literally following Jared Spurgeon and Marcus Foligno. I'm like, dude's looking for real estate on Lake Minnetonka. Let's fucking go. Done.
You're now like so updated that now that you're just like tracking the Instagrams, like you're the one you already, they'll start quote tweeting you. But anyways, we gotta finish up on the World Juniors stuff here. LJ Moody, again, a lot of individual moments that were really good.
St. Louis, Dan Engstrom.
There you go. And I mean, I remember how many points he finished with, but like when you looked at, like, again, he just made so many little plays and like highlight reel plays too. Some of the passes and like some of the plays that he makes when you have nothing going, like his ability to just like pick the puck up in the offensive zone and just start flying around and start throwing backdoor passes left and right.
Dude, how many close calls were from him, right? Like, I feel like he was the king of setting up beautiful opportunities that just didn't convert. Whether it was him setting it up or him getting the opportunity, like, dude, the Swedish players colliding and him just ripping at crossbar. God fucking damn it.
Yeah.
I might have chucked my kid from club level if they scored that goal there, like out of excitement, and he would have been more excited than me about it.
Did you just throw your son? No, my son just scored. It's my son right there on the ice.
He was so excited he jumped.
He jumped. I don't know. We both. It's his brother. It's his brother on the ice. He's very fired up for him. Yeah, no. I mean, again, we see it too at Minnesota. Like, there's so many times where he's thinking 2 plays ahead, and like some of the passes that he'll throw back door, either the guy that's sitting there is not anticipating the puck getting to him that fast, or it's just like they're like a 1 step behind the play because how fast he processes the game and how well he can manipulate the opposition with the puck on his stick, like the passing lanes he creates for himself and teammates. Like he's just so fun. The individual skill on that kid is outrageous. So you definitely saw flashes from him for sure.
And of course, coming right out of this break, he gets Gavin McKenna.
Naturally.
Let's go.
So that'll be fun. I'll be curious to see how McKenna does now.
I don't think it's going to be much different. I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah, it might. I mean, this also could be like a Penn State thing. But I think other USA stuff. I thought Cam Reed offensively was really good, and like obviously they lose in that overtime, but he was inches from winning that game.
I don't
What
think
a
you've talked
save.
to me about anyone more off pod than Reed.
Yeah, he rocks. He's definitely going to be in that first overall discussion, in that first defenseman off the board discussion for sure. What he can
hang on.
do.
Earlier in the show, when you said, "Oh, like it's top 2, and it's just between McKenna and Semberg," like, so Reed's in the mix.
Yeah, no, we were saying if you're picking in the top, like how far down are you? Like,
You
I
wouldn't
don't
be
want to
okay
pick
going
here.
3 then, if you could get
No,
one.
of course I could.
McKenna,
No, okay, no, there was more so like, which pick are you like? Okay, I just didn't want to pick first here.
right? Okay, all right.
Yeah, at 2, if McKenna's off the board, you're like, yeah, it's Stenberg or Reed. Yeah, they're both top of the lineup guys. But like Reed, I thought at the tournament was really good offensively. There was some, I mean, you could say this about pretty much all of the defensemen for USA this tournament. There were some bad moments. There were some really bad turnovers in his own end too. That was like where almost all of their problems came from, was just like an inability to clear the puck out of the zone, or just like turning it over with like zero pressure. There were just so many times where like either they would get scored on or they would get like extended defensive zone time because they were just like coughing pucks up. Trying some really like head scratching stretch passes too. I was like, what are we like? I mean, just simplify the game here, fellas. Especially against Finland. What are you going to send a pass with a neutral zone? Like, I mean, it's like the neutral zone's mud. they're going to win that puck battle. And the only other thing I wanted to mention about USA is like, obviously we were talking about like how annoyed we get with like all the Bob Motzko criticism. The gold medal game, specifically in overtime, that was a bad one. Like, I was like, I don't know how you don't have Will Zellers on the ice. I thought that was noticeably
Bob Motzko flubbed the lineup decision for overtime
in overtime.
An important game,
yeah. That's where I was like, damn
weird.
it.
They had total control of a game and then just decided they were going to go full shell and like hope to not lose. Oh, I've never heard of this.
Yeah. Again, they even so, they had 2 chances in overtime. I was like, that is inches. Like, again, Cam Reed was what a save from Mr. Showtime, Petteri Rimpinen, just extending the pad out. And he was like 3 feet outside of his crease. And I was like, holy shit.
Have you ever seen a more magnificent pad being stretched out, though?
No.
Although, hang on. No. Counter to that, the guy that had comparable sick pads, Gopher commit, currently playing for the WHL Medicine Hat Tigers. Could Carter Casey be the solution next year?
But if you want to just go on pads alone, especially too.
Fuck the pads. He's sick.
Yeah, no, he's real good. But wait, where was I going now?
Rimpinen stretched out the pads.
Oh yeah. Either way, that was just the the one I was like, I can't defend Motzko on this one. Was just like the decision making on who to throw out there on the ice in overtime. I was like, I just don't know how you don't have Zellers out there. And I was like, I don't even think I sound like a Bruins homer saying that, because he was just like ridiculous the whole tournament.
I wish it was someone besides you saying it, but I agree with it.
Right. I mean, again, on the game time goal, like, he gets into the offensive zone, he wins the puck back, he goes and forechecks down low and knocks it over to Higgins, who finds fucking Riker Lee out front in their tie ball game. It also looked like they had nothing
besides Riker Lee, though. I needed to be a third Bruin to complete the trifecta.
That'll never happen.
You just going nuts.
They will never have 3 players. I was so thrown off watching the World Juniors, and I was like, 2 notable prospects, 2 of like really good performers on the team are Bruins picks. It's like, this is uncharted territory
as well.
This is uncharted.
Pittsburgh only have 2.
I
can only think of 2.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, that was all I had for USA, I think.
Sick. One question that I've got to pull up here. Hang on 1 second. to talk about the team that got silver, because I feel like we did gloss over them and not give them proper due. Cole asks us, did we get the wrong Eurocheck?
It's crazy too. In both of their first goes of the World Juniors, they both have bad injuries. Obviously, like Adam last year, either in the first game or was it even right before the World Juniors tournament, he broke his leg. But what a fucking performance from him. He was an animal. Both him and I'm actually annoyed that he was so good at this tournament, because now everyone knows about this player not going undrafted 2 years in a row for absolutely no reason. Thomas Galvish, holy shit. What a fucking performance from him. Every game. I remember, again, in his draft year, I think
He's
I had
got one more year of eligibility.
If he goes undrafted again, which is, who knows, it could possibly happen considering the fact that apparently we're allergic to drafting defensemen under 6 feet. That being said, they're not going to do that this year. There's just way too many legit defensemen in this draft that are not 6 feet. They're right under. But Thomas Galvis, the playmaking, the physicality that he can play. I mean, he was playing probably close to 30, 35 minutes every game of this tournament, putting up the points. Watching him manipulate while standing still and then just get one powerful push and the amount of distance that he covers, it's incredible. And there were so many times I thought he'd be up on the offensive blue line at a standstill and he had two guys closing. And I was like, oh, you're dead to rights here. And he would come away with the puck and rifle one on net or find someone backdoor. He is just such a good player. But both him and Jiricek really showed out at this one for Czechia. They were both awesome. And again, just a very fun Czechia team overall. But those two on the back end were just dynamic. Very fun all tournament.
Might as well pivot that into Minnesota guy. Banach can sling that pill. Got to talk about some of our MNW prospects. Everyone, of course, check out our good buddies, Twitter, Facebook, MNW prospects, MNW Young Guns. Banach's so fun.
Yep. I was disappointed they didn't find more ice time for him tonight. I was really, especially at the end of the game, when they were chasing, he didn't even go. They didn't even have him on, which I thought was weird. I mean, again, they had Wojtek Sihash was, Jesus, is he good? Tito Bach came on strong at the end of that tournament, both in the semis, and he had a couple real nice plays tonight. 2-1, by the way, Jared Spurgeon. But that semifinal performance from Banach, I think he still finished fifth on the team in ice time, but that was his best game of his World Junior career. Finished with 3 points. Obviously, the 3-2 goal off the one, probably the only bad play that Ethan McKenzie made all tournament long. That one timer, and then he sets up 2 other ones in that semi. I think I meant to save the tweet. I gotta find it real quick because Dylan tweeted out. I wish that the IIHF would make their advanced stats available sooner, because in arena they show it up on the jumbotron, so it's very annoying that we don't have access to it. But let's see. There it is. Dylan Laux last night tweeted after the game ended. Adam Banach finished going 19 for 21 on passes, 4 shot assists created, 1.65 expected goals just on his shot assists alone, 2.14 total expected goals with shots, 5-on-5 only, went 5 for 5 on exits, and had one of the highest skating speeds of the night. One of the knocks on Banach was he's a decent mover.
One of the Banachs.
There you go. But can he reach NHL level pace? And watching in Brantford on that loaded fucking Brantford Bulldogs team, you see flashes of it. That being said, they have the puck 80% of the game in the offensive zone, so it doesn't really have to use any kind of speed burst. But at this tournament, when he would just get a foot of space, he would take off and clean exits, clean entries, and those he was just throwing dimes. And I was halfway through tweeting, there's no way that Admanok finishes this tournament with 0 goals. And as I was hitting send on the tweet he scored last night, and I was just like, this is amazing. I was like, I should just keep saying it. I was like, there's no way Admanok.
No way he only gets one.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to get. Yeah. So again, I was disappointed. Again, I thought he made a couple of really nice plays when he was on the ice tonight, but I don't know. I would have definitely found a way to get him on the ice more than they did. But he made a lot of really, really eye-popping plays. Finishes with just over a point per game, I think. But he was really fun. Again, just like the skill, he's like we were talking about with LJ Mooney, like how he processes the game, especially in the offensive zone with the puck on his stick. And again, the two-way play and the ability to just get clean exits, like he's just so good. So there were a lot of really positive flashes. And again, his best game that he's played in the World Juniors as a whole came in that semis where he was a beast. Pretty much noticeable every time he stepped over the board. So all in all, positive showing for Admanok for sure.
Love that. Do we want to talk any more about them, or do we talk about the fourth team in the medal round that unfortunately didn't medal?
I am obsessed with this Czechia goaltender. Absolute agent of chaos. 18-year-old, was draft eligible last year, I think. But I mean, a lot of goalies don't get taken in their first go around, especially if you're not like whatever notable. If you're not like going in the first round, there's a decent chance that you might get passed over that year. And I mean, you saw like some bad like young goaltending habits from him. Like he was a lot of times swimming in the crease. He got his there was like 2 or 3 times against Canada where he got his like skate stuck on the post or in his own net. But some of the saves he was pulling off, and like I love how he is just constantly looking to fire the puck up the ice. Like he had a lot of unbelievable saves. I actually felt really bad on the 3-0 goal right before they scored that third goal tonight. He made a like sprawling full extension save backdoor 3-1 Kings. But he's just really fun. Goal. I like. It's rare in like a World Junior tournament that I'm like, this goalie is the fucking man. Like every game, I was like, this dude rocks. I love this kid. So I wanted to at least mention him. But then we mentioned one other guy briefly just a second ago, Wojtek Cihas, however you say it.
I think it was Cihas, which is sick name, by the way.
Yeah, the
way it's spelled and everything. But
that goal against Canada.
I watched them play, though, I kept on hearing his name.
He was on the puck. Like, I mean, he probably played close to 25 minutes every game for them. And I mean, between him, Galvez, and Jiricek are on the ice at the same time, like the Czechs had the puck, and like they were some of like the cycles. And I mean, that goal that he scored to just burn Danford and Aitchison, and then like in tight go up top on Ivan Kovac. That was a absurd goal. He is so good. The Kings have another incredible prospect, but he had just such a good.
I don't know if I got lost or he got lost there. If anyone in the comments can let me know. Uh-oh. So we lost the shit. Oh, he'll be back. Occupational hazard. If anyone has any questions or anything they want covered specific to the Minnesota Wild, because we don't have a lot planned for that. We were really going to focus World Juniors, and we're going to go pretty deep on NHL draft as well. Going to break down Z's top 10 defensemen in what he's labeled as one of the deepest defenseman drafts that we've seen in a while. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, wild, get them in the chat quick so I can get them queued. Otherwise, we probably won't get too deep into Minnesota stuff besides random reactions to the game we're watching right now. And he is back.
Dude,
there he is.
That was like my other monitor just went pink. And I was like, oh no, that means this is going to turn off. And it just like my TV and my computer went, I'm like, no. Then it turned itself back on. Dude, I turned it back on. It goes, oh, shut down unexpectedly. I was like, no shit. The whole computer did, asshole. Anyways, I didn't like that.
Dude, Z, this is going to make your day. Adrian Kempe started following 1 and unfollowed 0. Player he started following may or may not be a draft son.
Let's go.
Followed Vigo Bjork.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about him.
I'll post that and tag you. Don't worry.
Let's see. I was pretty much through my Votek Shihas praise anyways, right before it crashed out. So, yeah, no, he was definitely a big time standout for Czechia. And up until the fucking really probably both the semis and gold medal game, honestly, I thought like during the prelims and in the quarter, I thought Vaclav Nestrasil, another Blackhawk first rounder,
Nestrasil
was really good.
Yeah.
Bonehead play on that fucking shorthanded goal. It was a tough look for both him and Banach because Banach was on the other side of the net, but like that's just still like slowly went over to like double down on the puck. I don't know if he just thought the play was gonna end or he could just like knock the puck out, but like stick was in the air and he like glided slowly, and then Berglund found Ustivar out front unopposed, so that was brutal. But again, flashes from Nestrasil were unbelievable. The tournament.
Back to the prospect piece, just because, again, I feel like this tournament, we always see a blue-collared, scrappy Finnish team, but like that, they were that through and through in this tournament. They were aggressively outshot in most games and most stretches of games, and they kept on just finding ways to win. Talk about the captain. Talk about Aaron Kiviharju. Did he show you anything different? Is he going to be in Iowa next year? What's your stance on him, just where he's at right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, specifically on Finland, I think I tweeted out during the semis, it should probably stop surprising me. Because I mean, realistically, it doesn't. But like this year specifically was really like it's the most resilient team year after year. Specifically, that semi-resilient.
I heard Brazilian, and it broke my brain.
Right? Because yeah, that's what I said. Sorry. What did I say?
The most Brazilian team. Like, wait, what?
It's like, well, what? Huh?
Have you been watching too much soccer and that's a compliment? Or are you saying they suck at hockey?
But like it really you really saw it in that the semis against Sweden. That was the most catastrophic start possible, where the first goal goes in 26 seconds in, an absolute muffin from Eklund or Eriksson. And it looked like the puck may have been going wide. And Ripid had just booted it, and then immediately they take a penalty. But after that, shots were like 4-1, 4-2 for Sweden. They killed the penalty off, and then like I think the period ended, shots like 11-5, and they were dominant in that first period. And I mean, like they're probably the better team for a lot of chunks of that game against Sweden. But like after starting the game the way that they did, it would have been real easy to just be like, okay, well, tonight's not gonna be our night, but that's just like not ever in their DNA. Like that mentality is never there. So I was just incredibly impressed with them the whole tournament. But Aaron Kiviharu was awesome. Obviously missed one game because he was sick, I think.
Soft.
But some of the plays that he was making on the puck, but like in that semifinal game, the amount of defensive and just solid plays he made with his stick. I mean, there was one sequence where he absolutely bodied Frondell. Like Frondell tried to like do a power move on him, and he just like shoved him out of the way, took the puck, and cleared it. That was just like, this is like, we saw flashes of the like borderline prodigy kid at that as a draft -1 at the Holinka a couple of years ago. He was one of, if not the best player at that tournament. When Canada literally, that was the year they had like, they were trailing for 14 seconds, I think, the whole tournament, dude. I think they gave up like 5 goals. But Kiviharu was one of, if not the best defenseman there, and was just an animal at 16 years old. But he made a ton of plays. He almost fucking rifled that on the power play in overtime. He hit the crossbar once, and I think he hit the goalie's mask on another one. But he made a bunch of really nice passes. Again, tons of plays with his stick defensively. Was killing plays like off rush defense. I thought he was just really, really fucking good. And he's such a pros. Like, again, I think everyone that talked to him after the game was like, man, this kid, like, he talks like a pro. Like, he's just so well spoken.
He is that.
And I think it came up about 47 times on the broadcast. Aaron Kiviharu taken in the 4th round and told Bill Guerin, you just got to steal the draft.
I love how they leave out words.
Yeah, they just didn't mention all. Yeah. But also sneaky, funniest part of that exchange was when he walked away and Guerin just looks at Judd, just goes, oh yeah, I fucking love that. Bill Guerin mic'd up at the draft is always funny because he does nothing. He's just like fucking with other GMs the whole time. It's very funny. But no, I thought it was a really, really good tournament for Kiviharu. And basically, like, not even basically, just saw what I was really hoping to see from him. Because I mean, like, he's on a really brutal team in Liga. There's been a lot of ups, lots of downs, and it's kind of hard for a player like him to stand out on that team right now in that league in general. So I would anticipate him coming to Iowa next year. I think it would probably be the right move on us. Well, actually, I don't know. They're also a shit show. So maybe not. Either way, him playing in Finland in that first pro division, still positive this year. But I wouldn't be surprised if he came over to Iowa next year just to start playing on the North American ice. But again, this tournament, I thought he was awesome.
We like that.
Who
Anything else you care to really get into with the tournament, or do we want to talk about, like, I feel like we've kind of hit on a lot of the draft broad blanket stuff. Like, are there any players that you feel besides the defensemen we're going to hit on in your top 10 list? Is there anyone that you feel notedly increased or decreased their draft stock in this tournament?
Fucking Vigo Bjork. Again, it's just like if teams can look over the fact that he's a 5, I think he's listed at 5'11".
Is he all
like,
3 of your draft children this year?
No. No, he's firmly in the top 3, but him and Stenberg together on the ice, holy shit. And before the tournament started, again, it was like Vigo Bjork is an undersized center. He's a draft eligible for this year. Usually draft eligibles, unless you're someone like Stenberg who's challenging for first overall, you're going to have a limited role. We're like, no, he's a top 6 center. He's going to be driving that line too. And some of like the comments, like during the broadcast, they were talking about how everyone who's talked to like his teammates in Sweden and teammates like at this tournament were like, everyone wants to play with Vigo Bjork. Like the kid's a dog. And I love the fact that like he got absolutely robbed by Rimpinen 4 times on breakaways in that semifinal and overtime alone. First shooter out for the shootout. I was like, that is amazing. And he was just like, fuck it. I'm not even trying to deke. I'm just going to try to shoot it. It wasn't good, but I love that they were like, fuck it, go.
I've got a nightmare scenario here for us. Do you think that Chicago could finish? I mean, that right now they're number 4 overall. Do you think they could get to 2 or 3 and potentially get Stenberg?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they got a second pick at 21 right now that would get them Vigo Bjork more than likely. Can you imagine watching them both play for Chicago and us wanting to unalive ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
A fun one would
or
be
St. Louis again.
Well, no, a fun one would be Calgary also has similar draft picks allocated to them. They could do the double trouble there. That'd be fun.
Very cool.
Is there anyone else that's in that threshold?
Bruins.
No. Also, I think this has to be outdated. How the heck is Utah 5? They're not that far down.
They have had a brutal stretch of hockey.
Just in the last week?
Last week or two.
Dear Lord. Okay, that's a bummer.
Bruins could do it. Fucking, they have the Leafs first round pick and their own, and they're going to be a lot.
Yeah, but those are in the middle.
Yeah, I think they'll fall off. There's no way this team could fucking compete.
They won't be top. They won't be a top 3 pick.
Well, yeah, no, probably not. Unless they say fuck it and actually do what they probably should do. And so
that'd be fun. Vancouver could mess around. They could get there.
I still need them to make a trade with Buffalo to get Noah Ostlund, so they have all 3 of the U-Garden trio and all the Pedersons in the league.
What about Lucas? Lucas will ruin that soon.
Yeah, what a dog too. That was also just continue on just Team Sweden though. That was kind of my favorite part about the team makeup is you had the Frondells, you got guys like Stenberg, the high fly, the guys that are top of the lineup, all-star, they can go sports center top 10 mode, and then you had some guys that are like that and all dog team, and then you had a bunch of dogs. Just when they were just puck hounds tonight, it was one of the most impressive performances I've ever seen in a gold medal game at the World Juniors. How they did that for basically 60 minutes, I don't know, but that's my sneaky favorite part about this team was just the fact that they had guys like Frondell, and then you have Stenberg doing his thing, dominating in a gold medal game, also first team all dog. Vigo Bjork, probably their most consistent performer with Berglund down the middle of the ice. Dogs. They were just, it's just such a fun team. And it drives me nuts that there's a more than 60-70% chance that Vigo Bjork still goes in the 20s. It drives me insane. It pissed me off. But yeah, that's all I want to say about that one.
Where should he go?
Bjork?
Yeah. 15? 12?
Yeah, I won't be able to put him any 15 is the lowest I could possibly put for myself.
Wow.
I think the last time I tried to put down some kind of ranking, I keep landing him at 11.
How could sorry, I took that the wrong way. 15 is the furthest you can see him dropping.
For me.
Got it. So 11 to 15 is kind of your range.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it.
But if someone was like, fuck it, we'll take him at 8, I'd be like, that's a phenomenal pick. He's just so good. Watching him in the fucking SHL last year and this year, it's just this kid is legit. Well, all Svensson because they were not in SHL last year. But he is just so fucking good, dude.
You know who's gonna get him? San Jose.
I can't think about it.
It's gonna be fun.
I love that team.
All right. Do we want to transition and talk about your top 10 list for defensemen in the 2026 draft class?
Sure.
Sure, he said emphatically. So just prime this though, because you've told me about it. We've talked about it a little bit on the show, but from what you've said, this is kind of a next level draft class for defensemen, at least compared to recent years. And as you mentioned before, there is no 6'5" requirement. So elaborate.
Specifically on my top 10 defensemen right now. I can guarantee you there's a good chance that all 10 of these in like a month from now, I have in different spots. But it's just like some of the guys at the top of this draft class, like there's the mix of dudes with size that can play two-way games, some guys with like freakish offensive upside, but then you've got some undersized guys who are like legit play drivers from the back end that aren't 6 foot. So that's always fun. But it's just like it's just so many different high-end D prospects in this draft class. And especially when you look at the forward crop in general, you've got like there's a pretty big drop off after probably like 10. But yeah, no, this year the D crop for this draft is going to be pretty legit, and I think it's going to be an early run. Like guys challenging first overall, you might see like 5 or 6 defensemen picked in the top 10. It's a very realistic outcome here. But again, this list, a bunch of these are like razor thin margins that I just like went at the end of the day. I kind of went just feeling on a lot. The order is going to be all over the place later.
Can you point out though if there are any like clean tier breaks where it's like, hey, these 4 are clearly in this mix, and then the other guys come after, kind of thing?
Yeah,
if that even exists.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. Well, let's kick it off with number 1, who again you've kind of gushed about throughout this tournament. Chase Reed.
Yep, Chase Reed. Right now, I just have him slightly over Veerhoff for first overall defenseman in this class so far. He's 6'2", right shot, ridiculous offensive upside, and like the growth in his two-way game this year has been tremendous for the Sioux Greyhounds, who like last year they sucked. I was curious to see how they do this year. Like his numbers right now in the OHL, he's got 14 goals and 35 points in 31 games. He's a plus 21 goal differential and 24 PIMs, but plus skater, high offensive upside, really smart, and the defensive game is nothing to sneeze at either. Like he is just such a well-rounded, translatable defenseman. He's going to be, when he gets to the NHL full time, a couple years in, he'll be your first power play guy, and he's going to kill penalties. Really good puck mover, like super high intelligence, very well-rounded. He's got the size and mobility that like you're hoping for at a top 4 D-man, but he has like first or like number 1 NHL defenseman traits for sure. So huge fan of Chase Reed. Again, I thought at this tournament offensively he popped. There were some bad moments defensively, but plenty of good ones too. But I mean, that's just going to be a young player at a tournament like this, especially on a Team USA. But yeah, right now he's got my first overall D-man upside in this. I mean, he's going to be challenging for first overall in the draft in general. So
are you at all nervous for his development about where he's going to be playing college hockey?
Yeah, no, I think Michigan State, I think he'll be just fine. I think it might be ideal, actually. Might be a perfect spot to go after this. The rich get richer. It's unbelievable.
Insane. Sorry, had to. All right, well, there's number 1, Chase Reed, followed by the one that most people probably expected to be number 1, if that still probably public sentiment. Keaton Verhoff, who dropped only because he plays for a despicable college hockey program.
Yeah. Yep. Another right shot, Keaton Verhoff, 6'4", 212. Like the flashes of upside. Like he played a very limited role, especially at the beginning of this term at the World Juniors for Team Canada. But even in those limited minutes, you saw some ridiculous flashes. Like the talent level, once he puts it all together, again, another guy that has top pair, if not number 1 defenseman on your team, like projection upside at least. There have been some like, North Dakota, they've done a fairly good job of like not overutilizing or not asking to do too much, but tremendous skater, absolute rocket of a shot, really good at rush defense, and then in zone he is just like impossible to forecheck. He's just such a good escape artist with the puck. Turns defense and offense super quick, but you're just waiting him to just like put it all together consistently more often. So honestly, I think he could probably do with another year at North Dakota or even if he goes as high as number 1 or 2 in this draft. I think playing another year of college hockey was completely fine and probably the right choice. But you're just waiting for the more consistent decision making and reads, and then just like putting the all around game together more often. He's going to be a guy that's going to be potentially at the top of your lineup for defenseman. He's really fun. Again, limited minutes at this tournament, but like some of the flashes were like, oh, yep, there it is. That's why he's in the number 1 overall discussion. So I bet I'll flip flop him and Reed several times throughout the next few buds here before they go to the draft in June. But he's awesome, very fun player. It was ridiculous in the dub last year as a draft wide, and he's super young for this class in general. But like as a draft wide as one, he put up like 22 goals in the WHL last year. Like he's just phenomenal. So him and Reed for me are challenging. They were neck and neck. I just put Reed down for now. Just I think he's got more of that like all around game, more consistent, more like translatable right now. But like the upside with Veerhoff is right there with him.
So are they a tier, or does anyone beyond these two belong in the same conversation? Like, could you see anyone surpassing the two of them?
Maybe not both. I think they're in their own tier as far as like when you look at NHL projection and what they're gonna like, what you can probably assume is going to happen for them in the NHL. That being said, the next few guys are like the upside is legit too. But I do think they're somewhat in their own tier. But not like it's not like a huge drop off though.
Sure. No, that's fair. And you say Veerhoff should, like, it wouldn't hurt him to go back to college. Do you think that Kevin McKenna could benefit from going back for another year of college hockey? Of course, assuming how the rest of the season plays out.
I think it will. I think the rest of the season is going to determine that, honestly. Like, if it doesn't change and he looks the same all year, I don't care where. Like, I just don't think he can go back to Penn. That would be, by the way, that would be a fucking disaster for Penn State.
They're not going to get another guy like that. I mean, shit. They literally got a guy removed from Canada's World Junior roster. That's tough.
Totally their fault.
Whose fault is it that Smith isn't on the roster? You tell me.
I think we just always blame Penn State.
I blame Joe Paterno.
Also fair.
All right. Moving on then to a soft tier jump. Very soft. Number 3, Xavier Villeneuve.
Yep. 5'11", left shot D-man in the QMJHL. The offensive playmaking ability on this kid is insane. Some of the plays that he makes with the puck, some of the passes he pulls off, he's got like a bomb of a shot too. Plus skater, and the defense is still a work in progress, but like definitely not. It's not like a glaring hole in his game at all. But some of the plays that he pulls off, like there have been times this year in the queue where I'm watching him, but it's just like, is that lane hot? It's crazy. Like the mobility and just like the manipulation with the puck on his stick. The upside is through the roof with him. It's just, what's the B game going to look like at the next level? I'm confident that it's not going to be a huge issue. So that's why I put him at 3, obviously. But like the toolkit, the hockey IQ, so tantalizing. I think he is going to be a top 4 D-man in this league. I think he's going to be a legit point producer. And I like the mobility enough that like, I think that'll be a big part of his defensive growth, is how well he moves, his ability to kill plays off the rush. Like, he is tremendous. I am a big, big, big fan of Xavier Villeneuve. Really good puck mover. You can, like, any time that he has the bug, you're all set. Like, he is going to take care of it. But I think 36 points in 35 games so far. He had a ridiculous start. I think he was averaging like 3 points per game for the first like 12 games. I was like, holy shit. Obviously not, because that would mean that he wouldn't have had a point since then. If that was actually true. But the first few games, he had like 2, 3, 4, 5 points. It was like, this kid is insane. So I look at him, pure upside projection. I don't think you can let him slip outside the top 10 at all. he's just got all the tools in the world. Very fun player to watch. And he is a prick too. It's very funny when he's like just like chopping guys that are 6'4" in front of the net. He's like, what? I'm about it. Let's go. He rocks. I love this kid.
Does it matter that he plays in a fake league?
Don't tell Isha.
Yeah, he has no idea. All right.
He says, tell Isha I'm going to quit all over his Hughes. No. That sounds gross.
Number 4, who I thought would have been your number 3, so I want to hear you talk through this. We have Alberts Smits of Latvia, Canada's worst nightmare.
He is fucking awesome. And what he's doing right now, I mean, like, it's always going to be, I think before the tournament, we were like, he's going to play like close to 30 minutes every single night. He's going to be hitting everything that moves. He's high event hockey plus skater. He's got a bomb of a shot, really good offensive upside. And the D game is also solid. That did not come out right at all. But also just like, he'll probably, when it's all said and done, I would imagine he probably gets taken before someone like Villeneuve. And there's going to be plenty of GMs trying to convince themselves to take him over like Veerhoff or Reed, just by the personality alone. The quotes that he was throwing out there at this tournament were phenomenal. He was like, they were like, who do you want in a game? I was like, I don't know. I don't care. They're like, what's it like going up against guys like Gav McKenna in this tournament? So I play Finnish Liga. I play really good players every day. It's fine. I also, by the way, I hate media. They're like, okay, great. We're going to ask for you every single availability possible. He was like, damn it. But he's so fun, dude. Like, he's playing like 20 minutes a night in Finnish Liga right now. He's got like 12 points. I think I wrote that down right. 12 points in 29 games, I think, in Finnish Liga right now. On a decent team, like, and he is their best defenseman. Like, he is just like, he's got all the tools in the world. There's going to be a question with the projection, just like how chaotic he plays at times. But I think he has that in his bag where he can play a very translatable game. It's just like right now he has high event hockey at both ends of the ice. He wants to play like 40 minutes a night. I think at this tournament he finished 5 points in 5 games, and I think he averaged like probably 25, 26 minutes maybe. But very intriguing prospect. Again, a guy that like probably a bit of project, just like refining the overall game and his style. But when he gets to the NHL and he's playing, I mean, he's already playing tons of pro hockey right now in a fairly translatable league, I guess, actually, for defensemen in Finland. But what he's doing at his age in that league and producing points is very impressive. So he is awesome. Big fan. And I know every single fucking NHL GM is too after this tournament, especially just like talking to him.
So whether it's based on the GM, the market, the team, who needs this player based on the personality? Just to like, I don't have a favorite player. Fuck you. I hate.
Well, apparently the fucking Calgary Flames, because they're all the fucking like team staff and his own teammates apparently are mad at him for saying that guys in the NHL just like don't have a ton of personality. So he's like, so I like to like have a person that like it's like, I'm like, the team's bad. Shut the fuck up. Like, you guys are the epitome of the lame ass fucking tweets I get on fucking Twitter.
Wait,
like,
who said that?
His own like, so there was one of the, I forget which Flames reporter, insider, whatever, was like in conversations with the team. They're aware of the comments made. I was like, what fucking comments? It was just like, yeah, there's just not a lot of personality with the NHL guys. So like, I'm having fun here. I'm really having fun at the start. But like, yeah, you're playing 26 minutes a night. You just like set a record for Canadian defenseman scoring. Like, of course you're having a blast, and like you have a great personality. You're very funny. Like, it's cool. And apparently, like, players and staff are aware of the comments, are not thrilled. I was like, you're proving his point. Actually, shut the fuck up. But anyways, apparently them
Self-fulfilling prophecy, right?
Yeah, that's on it. Yeah, it's just pissed me off. But yeah, I mean, I bet he probably ends up in the top 5. And even
so,
like,
you're literally saying that it'll be the 2 wingers and 3 defensemen in the top 5.
Probably, I could see it.
So Tynan Lawrence.
No, I'm curious to know what every NHL GM thinks about Tynan Lawrence, because I mean, I know there are a lot of like, I mean, Perron put him number 1. So I think I would imagine that
Toronto would never.
Yeah, I think that teams will be going out of their way to be like, no, Smith is a top 5 guy.
Yeah.
And like he's gonna be like, I know I was listening to Cam and Chris before the quarters, and they were like, oh, we've talked to all the scouts here, all the teams, all the NHL staff. They're like, he's gonna be challenging for first defenseman off the board for sure.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting, but very, very fun player, very great, again, great personality. Like, what he's doing in Finnish League is so impressive. So all the time in the world for him.
Fair. All right. Moving on to number 5 then. Another representative for the World Juniors. Carson, and is it Carroll's or Carl's?
Yes.
Nice. Love that for him or her. I love that for you, or I'm sorry that happened to you.
I ain't reading all that. Yeah. Probably gonna fall just outside of my draft sun list. I'm a huge fan of this player, dude. Especially when you look at his draft -1 tape, what he was doing every night with Prince George and the Dub, going up against every single team's top line, top player, and more often than not coming out on top. And that was like a pretty so-so year for Prince George after having a monster year the year before when they had like hate going off. I mean, the whole fucking team was going nuts, but just a super mobile 6'2" left shot defenseman, ridiculously good rush defense. And he's getting more minutes, more time on the power play this year, and his offense is showing through for sure. So I just think, again, another guy that plays a super translatable game. He's a plus skater. He's got a really good shot, really good pass. Another guy that's like impossible to take the puck from off the forecheck. Elite puck mover, could skate out himself, could make a really good first pass and break pressure. He's just such a well-rounded defenseman. It's going to be, I would be shocked if he doesn't go in the top 10 of this class. You just look at what he's already done. Impressive resume at his age too. Like he's young for this. He's relatively young for this class as well. Fun fact, we have the same birthday. So he's obviously gonna. Maybe I should just say we're gonna have to have more than 3 draft slots.
Wait, you're World Junior eligible?
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. Same year. But yeah, no, Carson Carroll's right now, he's my 5th defenseman off the board. Tons of upside, both offensively and defensively. And what he's done at his age is extremely impressive. So huge fan of this player.
Have we hit any tier breaks within this? So like are these 3 the next tier? Villeneuve, Smiths, and Carroll's? Is there a break before Carroll's? Is there more that belong in this group?
I would say after the next one, I don't think it's realistic for them to go top 10.
Okay.
So far, the defenseman that we've named and the next one should be in top 10 discussion. The next one, I'll be curious to see how the draft goes for him.
Okay. Well, the next one is one Ryan Lynn.
Another quote unquote undersized. He's 5'11", 176. Coming into this season, the premier defensive defenseman who just had some untapped offense. A lot of that was just like situational, playing in Vancouver, which is still the case. Got off to a pretty slow start with his offense, but since like probably a month and a half, 2 months ago, he has just taken off. So now he's up to 9 goals, 46 points in 39 games on like a pretty average Vancouver team. But another guy just so good evading the forecheck. He breaks the puck out with ease. Like, yes, he's undersized, but has no problem playing up. But the defensive skill set already has him in a different tier with a lot of other defensemen that are going to come after him. Just super smart, super good with his stick, really good off the rush, and in zone, he's a beast. And again, stronger than like when you just look at like the 5'11", 176, like he is a fucking animal. And again, this year now he's like starting to pop offensively. He's trying more things. Like he had all the skill in the world. He's just super conservative with what he would try. This year he's experimenting with his tools a lot more, and you see the flashes of that, like a guy that could be a top 4 defenseman and put up some decent points in the NHL. So really, really, really like Ryan Lynn. Big fan. I think
And
my most
you
recent
can
list I have at 9.
You can see him jumping any of the 3 prior to him? Or like where is the break? Because I know you're
he's a
saying he's the
soft-
last guy that can be top 10.
Yeah. I think him and Carroll's are close. I think NHL teams will not look at Villeneuve the same way that I do, or
Sure.
my friends.
I don't care about NHL teams. I want to know your opinion.
Yeah, no, I would put, just given Villeneuve's tools and the offensive upside, he's in his own tier above Carroll's and Lynn, and then Smith's just like the pro hockey that he's already played and his style, and just I mean, I think he's just above those two. But I think Carroll's and Lynn are right neck and neck.
Okay, fair. And now we've got kind of a firm tier break. So those top 6 are in a different class. The top 2 among them are unicorns. From here, we got number 7, Malte Gustafsson.
Love this guy. 6'4" left shot defenseman, playing a lot recently in the SHL. I think the other night he played like 24 minutes. Two-way, super mobile, really good puck mover, really good in the offensive zone too, can be on that second power play unit. Really good rush defense. Again, just a really well-rounded player with the size and the mobility that teams are going to be looking for. I have him closer to like 15 to 20 probably, so that's that break. But super translatable game. Again, playing a ton of minutes in the SHL and putting up a couple points as well. I think he's got, in his last 4 or 5 games, he put up 2 more assists. And he's starting to play close to 20, 25 minutes. Very impressive in the SHL on a decent HV71 team. But very translatable, really well-rounded, like the offensive upside, the puck moving, and he brings a physicality with his size. So huge fan of Malte Gustafsson for sure.
Okay. Next one up, we have a fun name. I think you like it more than I do. But number 8, Daxon Rudolph. The picture makes me like the name more.
Yep. So Daxon Rudolph, another 6'2" right shot, or sorry, 6'1" maybe, but beast physical. It's like 6'1", 6'2", 200 pounds, I think. Again, really translatable game, super mobile, solid defender, and he got off to a really slow start this year. And I think in those last 5 games, he has 2 points in each. So now he's over a point per game in the dub right now on a so-so Prince Albert team. 17 goals, 40 points in 36 games, plus 13 again, which is pretty impressive in the dub on a so-so team. But all the tools in the world, wanted to put them together more consistently, but like another guy, we just look at the profile, the mobility, the decision-making is hit or miss, which I think will come with time. So another, probably a bit of a project, not super long-term, but he plays a translatable game when he is kind of on, and the awareness is there, but fluid skater, right shot with size, physical, solid in his own end. So I think there's a ton of parts of his game that should translate into the NHL. It's just, again, we talked about with Veerhoff before, that's a different tier, but like putting it all together more consistently is going to go a long way for him. But I'm a big fan of Daxon Rudolph.
And this next one is a front runner for all name team for myself. A guy we've talked about a couple of times on the show. Number 9, tell me about Juho Pipparainen.
I wish he got to play a little bit more in the World Juniors. He had very limited minutes, but again, like when he was on the ice, it was all positive. Another 6'3", 203 pounds, right shot defenseman, playing legit big minutes. Another guy in Finland right now, playing with the other draft eligible that was with Finland, who's going to go pretty high in this one, Oliver Svanto. But he played 26 games in Liga, anywhere from like 10. I think he had one game where he logged like 22 minutes and was just flying around the ice, but really good skater, solid defender. And he shows flashes of the upside. When he decides again to experiment with tools, he can make some pretty eye-popping plays, very fun player. It's just, again, playing in Finnish Liga as a young defenseman. Naturally, he's probably going to try a whole lot less than he's capable of. But when he kind of lets it fly, he is just a beast. So yeah, no, 3 points in 26 games, again, averaging anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes somewhere in the tier, like pretty much every time on a really good top of the team. So super translatable. Again, I wish he played more in the World Juniors, which he got more minutes, but when he was on the ice, I mean, it was all good. Like, I think he finished with 3 assists in 6 games and he was like a +6. So like, it was like, I had my guy. But huge fan of you, Hope and Brain. And I'm going to be curious to see where he ends up going. Like, I know at Smart Scouting, pretty much I'm high on this player. I'm probably the lowest by far. Like, I mean, we had guys putting him at 4 with us, just given the tools and how
in the whole draft, or 4 among defensemen.
We had a couple that had him at 4 overall. He's just another guy that's just got
the region that they cover specifically is Finland.
One that put him there was like more of just Europe in general.
Okay. Sorry, I had to.
But yeah, no, I love when he just gets going and starts pushing the pace. Like, he can dictate the game from the back end, which is just like a very special quality in that league on a really good topper team. So, I'll be curious to see what NHL teams think. He's got a right shot 6'3" that automatically makes you the best player in the world.
This is valid.
But yeah, no, he's just a solid player.
All right. Well, that rounds it out then to number 10, which, Cole, buckle in, because this is another great all-name team consideration. Georgios Pantelas.
Late addition for my rankings, for sure.
Gotta also comment, I'm sorry, as I went and grabbed images for all these graphics, this is literally the same, like, shit-eating grin that he has in every fucking photo. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of, remember who was it, Z, that was a Boston kid or a Boston commit? It's going to bother me so much. I think, was it Bednarik? Who had like just like the stone cold, like, I'm going to murder your family stare.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is the opposite. He is just like got this weird shit-eating grin in every photo.
And he fucking crushes guys. I mean, so like the thing with him, again, he's raw. He has a ton of tools that he's still working on putting together. His skating has taken a massive leap forward, just as far as like his ability to close ground quickly. That first step, he's just started to generate so much more power. But again, he's another guy beside, I think he's 6'2", 200 and... What did I put? I actually wrote that down. He's 6'2", 214. Probably he is in the conversation for like highest nonstop, relentless motor, super competitive, super physical. And he's starting to like show some offensive tools as well. Again, the skating was a bit of a question in this draft -1 year. It was just slow to get to pucks, was often second in that race. But this year he's closing quick. He's starting to try things. Some of the passes he pulls off from his own end, like really difficult plays where it's just like indirect off the wall, but like tape to tape. So his game's just taken a massive step forward, but probably not the name that many will have heard as far as like top prospect status. And I wouldn't even be surprised if come draft day that like still isn't like, I think obviously scouts know who he is. Okay. But I don't know of many, at least from any of the scouting outlets that I go and read every once in a while. I don't know if there's many outside of EP that have him in the first round yet. But he's just been so good this year with Brandon. And again, the fact that his skating has taken this big of a stride forward, no pun intended. And the fact that he's like showing some offensive upside too. I think I just think he has a super translatable game. And the fact that the nonstop motor, the compete is just second to none. So he is an animal. So I've had to put him at 10. I also just like watching him more than someone like who probably was challenging for that 10 spot. I like watching him more than I like watching Nikita Sherbakov. Like, he's just a fun player. He's another guy. It's just like when you watch, you're like, I like the way that you play. You crush everything that moves. You're willing to try shit, and you have that face, shit-eating grin. There have been a few where he's just absolutely leveled someone, right? Like the whistle goes, he's like, I was already in the middle of throwing the hit. And then again, the camera goes to his face. He's like, Me? What? I was in the middle of the hit. So he's like a guy that got like fan favorite written all over him when he finally got. He is a long-term project for sure.
Sure.
He's still
where do you have him ranked right now, though? Like, where would you have him going? Is he
my 20s,
like,
probably
mid-20s? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, as we all know, it's January. Technically, January 6th.
Right.
All right, sorry, no, what the fuck? It is 6th. As we all know, these are firm. This is probably where it'll end up.
Nothing will change.
2 weeks, we do this again. I'm like, he's 8 overall for me.
Beckett Seneca will not go 3rd overall. No chance.
Told you he was going to draft day.
That's a fact.
That was one of my few hits. That draft.
One of my few hits. Yes. That rounds us out. Is there anyone else that you wanted to like just give light note to? I know you just gave one subtle nod. Is there anyone else that's like honorable mention ish or pretty comfortable with your top 10?
Yeah, I mean, just mentioned Nikita Sherbakov. I just enjoy watching the way the Pentless plays, and I just have more access to his games, honestly. But huge defenseman who can move. He's got a bomb of a shot when he decides to use it. And he's played in the KHL, the MHL, and the VHL this year, like pretty evenly throughout. And he's been really good playing in the VHL, which, again, for anyone that doesn't know, it's like basically Russian AHL. Still high level. And it's always funny. They still have like the stereotypical Russian thing where it's just like they'll celebrate a second assist just as hard as if they scored a goal, which is like my favorite shit.
V is above M. VM?
Yeah, M's juniors. So that's like U20. And then VHL is basically, they can go up and down though. There's also like SKA has 2 MHL teams. Actually, they may have 3. So I forget which prospect. He had played on like 6 different teams in the same organization in his draft year a couple of years ago. I forget which one it was. But I was like, this is like weirdly annoying. Like, where is it going to be playing? And they'll play like day after day too, because they play a million games over there.
Day by day.
And then another one though, who's probably tail end of my first right now, but he could slide up too. Another guy that made the Swedish World Junior team, William Håkansson, played a very limited role, but another guy with some offensive upside, really good skater. He's got the size too, so he's a pretty fun player. Like him a lot. He's played a good amount of pro hockey this year too.
Nice. All right. Well, the last thing to close on here, and I'm maybe you'll see something I don't. We got a text in question from one Eric Vigo, covering Gopher hockey, Gopher Puck Live. Check out all their shit; they rock. I feel like your pod is the perfect avenue to talk about the Kaprizov bobblehead issues. I expect a full breakdown. Z? Well, what the heck?
I remember seeing something about it being
like, it's not working right now.
It's your computer's gonna do what mine did.
There it is.
Hey! Oh my god!
So,
what did they give him? Zuccarello's stick? Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, the stick for sure.
He looks like Matthew Schaefer more than Kirill Kaprizov.
That's fair. First off, way too happy, just in general.
Yeah. I've seen him make that face like 4 times when Zuccarello returned to the lineup and when they traded for Quinn Hughes.
Dude, can you imagine though if they took away the hockey stick, if they gave him like a bandana, like rolled up bandana that's wrapped around as a headband, and they had him instead with chopsticks grabbing Billy Sushi?
No.
No, except instead of Billy Sushi, he's grabbing a fry.
Yeah, there you go.
Grasshopper.
I like that. I don't know why I did. I should have seen that. Wait, so do you know what the big drive is? It just the fact it doesn't look
just not looking like him, I'm sure, is really the extent of what we're going for here.
I could probably find like 5 or 6 guys in the NHL that this looks more similar to than Kirill Kaprizov. Again, Schaefer stands out at me. I'm like that. It's Matthew Schaefer, actually.
Agreed. Can I say though that as far as like bobblehead and statue fuck ups, like I'm not looking at this saying this is not Kirill Kaprizov. Like it looks more like him than some other bobbleheads have looked like other people.
Oh yeah, 100%. I weirdly
ugly jersey.
Yeah, no, you and I are never gonna agree on that one.
Yep.
You know what? This isn't even NHL. He looks like one of the elves in Elf.
Did you? So I learned this recently. Maybe I'm super late to the party because I told my wife, and she was like, "Yeah, no shit." In the movie Elf, there's the elf who's like asking Buddy like how far off of quota he is. He's like, "I've made 99." He's like, "Oh, off a quota of 1,000. Good job, buddy." That is Ralphie from Christmas Story.
Oh yeah.
No idea. No clue.
Wait, no, he looks. Oh wait.
And apparently that movie, the mom, you know, in Elf, first off, she could not handle the whole spaghetti at breakfast was improv, and she could not get through the scene to save her life. But apparently Will Ferrell calls her up and says, "You did so good as my mom on this. I apologize. It's probably going to seem offensive to you. I would like you to play my mom again." She's like, "Well, let me do the math here. I'm only like 15 years older than you. So, I mean, okay, whatever." But that's how she got the role as mom in Step Brothers.
I love that.
She's like, I like you being my mom. Will you be my mom again? I'm not going to call him dad ever, even if there's a fire. But yeah, I mean, it's Matthew Schaefer is an interesting one.
What fucking?
I would not have pegged him as one of the elves from Elf, but I'm on board.
No, you know what? Not Elf. I think it's one of the characters in Frosty the Snowman. And then specifically like the.
You're not talking about the gay dentist in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, are you?
No.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be able to find it. I can just picture the face though. Well,
there's no elves in Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, no, maybe it is.
It's a bunch of little kids.
If I saw this question coming, I would have. It's not. It's good podcasting. I'm like just dialed in right now.
I don't know what else to say. Matthew Schaefer is a very funny poll though, because I did not.
That was my first one.
I didn't connect it, but as soon as you said it, I'm like, shit, he's right. Oh, Matthew Schaefer in a Wild jersey. That would be delightful.
We'd like that.
Wouldn't hate it.
Wait, is that not going to open for you though? Nope. Why is it doing that? I'll try a screenshot. This is driving me insane now. The podcast and this is how it's done. This is people want to know how we plan things.
Okay, I see the picture you sent me. I don't know where you got that from, but that's wild. That's not Frosty the Snowman, but
no, I know.
I kind of see what you're going for.
I'm telling you, there is. I gotta remember which one, which fucking movie it is. But it's a fucking elf. That's what I'm thinking of. Either way, it's Matthew Schaefer in a wild jersey with Matt Zuccarella's stick. There you go.
Aspiring to be an elf.
Someone had a package sent to our apartment, but it was someone that lives like 3 doors down, Not the band. Not the band. Their name, I shouldn't probably say it, but I'm going to anyways because I don't care. Mats Tarasenko. And I was just like, weirdly, I think this package is for me. I don't, I feel like this is a test to see if I pick up on it. But I was like, holy fuck, there's one of those in the world. Yeah. It was like 2 weeks of the season too. I was just like, this is interesting to me. Anyways, Santa Claus. I'm not gonna keep. I have to stop.
All right, I think that's an appropriate place to end. I think we've had a pretty effective show.
I think so. But yeah, World Juniors this year, what a fucking tournament. Again, even though that gold medal game for a lot of it was rough for Czechia, what a performance against, I think they just gave it everything they had in their tank against Canada.
They own the country of Canada.
It's incredible. 3 years,
whatever.
3 years in a row. Unbelievable. But yeah, this was a fucking great tournament. And it's one again that this is when I was like, make them play again. They should let them play the other gold medal game again in like 3 days so they have time to rest up. And they're all at full health and going. And again, if Thomas Galvis doesn't get drafted this year, which he probably won't, makes me sick. Makes me sick. But anyways, yeah, that'll do it.
Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color?
Yeah, what's your favorite color?
Francisco.
Someone, I don't even know why on Christmas
my dad wanted me to go. Everyone looks like they want to hurt me.
When he starts putting the syrup on the spaghetti, it's like, it's good. Good.
4 main food groups.
4 main food groups.
Candy corn, candy canes, and syrup.
Yeah, but someone on Christmas Day sent me just the video of him dancing in the mailroom. I was just like, no context. Hey. Well, the context was obvious, but like no text. It was just a video. It was just like, I needed this. Breaking out the moves. But
I love you, man. You're my best friend. World's greatest cup of coffee. Congratulations.